So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ask YP Now live show. Now, this is a show focusing on positive living, work life balance, living with passion, success in your life and business, and most importantly, making the world a better place. And this morning, afternoon, evening, I've got a special guest with us. He's my very dear friend who hails from the same hometown as me from Penang, Malaysia. Okay, so his name is Lloyd. He's a hairstylist, and Lloyd, would you spend a couple of minutes to tell us a bit more about yourself?
Thank you, YP. I'm so glad and so honored to be on your show. I've been uh, I've been hibernation with all these years, not knowing what to do with interviewing. But today, I will try my very best. I was born in Penang, and I studied in Singapore. But before I went to Singapore, my mom was a hairdresser, beautician, makeup artist,
Okay.
dressmaker. So I have a lot of inspiration looking at her work, and I told her that I want to be a hairdresser one day. So upon completing my studies in Singapore, I went back to Penang and took up hairdressing as a course. And from
Okay.
there, I went to different parts of the world to learn hairdressing. And in Penang, when I came back, I was working for her. She was the only employer that I had. After that, I opened my own salon, from one salon to quite a few branches. And way back in 2006, I decided that it's time for a change. So myself and my wife and my two kids, two daughters, we decided to migrate to Australia. So now Perth is my home,
Okay.
and I have a very small business right now. Before I used to have 35 staff with about 7 outlets in different hotels and resorts in Penang and Langkawi Island. Now I only have 10 fingers working
Oh,
together with
wow.
me, plus my
So,
wife's
Lloyd,
10 fingers. So 20 fingers.
okay, your wife is helping you. Okay, right. And by the way, what's your wife's name so that we all can,
Yeah.
relate to that?
My lovely wife's name is Joanne,
Okay.
and she is actually Eurasian. So a bit of mixed match. I call her international salad.
Okay. Good. So, Lloyd, you said that you went to Singapore, you studied, and then you came back and work for your mom, and then you opened up a salon. At what age do you open up your own first salon?
I think it must be about 21. Yeah.
21.
I worked for her from 18, 19, 20, so about 21.
Okay, wow,
Yeah.
21. That's a pretty young age to start your own business, isn't it?
When
Pretty
I
young.
first started, a few of my classmates, they went to uni, and
Uh-huh.
I was earning money and they're still studying. But today they
Okay.
have extra zero behind. I got one lesser zero than them.
So the thing is this, okay? So you're mentioning that you have got, multiple outlets, seven if I'm not wrong, outlets
Yes,
in Penang, and
in
because
Langkawi.
of course I know you in Penang. Can you just share a little bit more about those outlets? Where are your outlets?
Um, they are all actually situated in beach hotels. I started
Okay.
in Penang Mutiara Beach Resort, which is
Mhm.
end of the world in Penang, as they call it. And at that time, nobody wants to work up at the end of the world. And for
Okay.
me, I guess my life is always full of challenges, and I like to be able to test myself whether I can do when other people say, I don't think it can happen. And I always
Okay.
try to do. Yeah,
Mhm. So you love challenges, you love taking on challenges, right? Okay.
that's
So
right.
so
Then
basically,
mm,
sorry.
from one outlet in Penang Mutiara Beach Resort, I opened up in Bayview Beach Resort, Penang, Park Royal
Mhm.
Penang, and also in Evergreen Laurel Hotel. At one stage, I was also running the operation for Golden Sands Resort
Wow.
in Batu Ferringhi. Then, way back in 1994, I had the opportunity of meeting up with some uh, Hollywood people, and they
Mm.
decided to ask me to become an assistant hairdresser on a movie set that was filming in Malaysia. And I said, okay, why not? I'll try. And from that point on, I realized that my salons in beach hotels can be on auto cruise. So I asked myself, what am I supposed to do after the movie set is completed? Then I decided that I will open up in Langkawi. This
Okay.
particular hotel is a very unusual hotel right in the middle of the jungle. with a beachfront, and it was really beautiful. And I was there for 11 years. Yeah,
Wow. So the hotels that you mentioned in Penang, obviously, if you're from Penang or you're aware of Malaysia, I mean the hotels in Penang, what Lloyd mentioned are all these, five-star hotels. Basically, these are all the tourist hotel and tourist destinations. And Datai, has always claimed to be a six-star hotel. Okay, a very fantastic. I stayed in Datai before and was so impressed about dining on the timber deck up on the tree, overlooking the
that's
sea.
right.
That's one of my best life experience. Fantastic place that time. So you were like having a hair salon empire back in Penang. And you said what year was it that you migrated over to Perth in
2006.
2006? So, it must have been quite an emotional decision, isn't it? Trying to give up an empire and coming, with I remember you saying with just two bags over to Perth. So what
That's right.
was going through your mind when you did the shift?
Well, um, a lot of hairdressers, they dare not venture into something that's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will always try to concentrate in shopping centers, shop lots that is with a very good frontage. For me, I think something that has never captured a lot of people's attention is hairdressing salon in hotels.
Okay.
So I was doing quite well, actually, earning like US dollars, sterling pounds, and spending ringgit Malaysia.
Wow.
In way back in year 2000, when 9/11 happened, when everything crashed, a lot of tourists decided to stop traveling. Um, a lot of salons of mine did not make enough money. With
Mm-hmm.
that, I realized that I should actually try to diversify. But
Mm-hmm.
second thing came, Bali was bombed twice. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have Nipah
Wow.
flu, you have bird flu, you have SARS, year
Mm.
after year of natural disasters. And also our neighboring countries, they were burning their forests so that they
Oh,
can
okay.
put palm oil plantation.
Mm.
And in the end, in year 2004, you have tsunami. Tsunami has
Okay.
actually impacted a lot of things also. And I
Mm.
realized that it's time for me to do a change. Instead of keep on digging into a well that you can taste mud water,
Mm.
dig a new well in
Okay.
Australia, fresh water. Mm.
Okay. Wow. And what was your motivation? What made you make the decision to move from your familiar old grounds to something totally new? So was it, for the money, for family, for what?
Children. Eh,
Oh, okay.
nothing beats having children that when they are growing up, they give them the best education and you're in the place that you feel that they are safe and they can
Mm-hmm.
continue to grow. And
Okay.
when we look around, anywhere in the world that we can go to, we realize that Australia has a very unique position and it's very far away from everyone, especially in Perth. But it
Mm-hmm.
is actually a hidden secret that nobody knows. Yeah,
Okay.
it's for children.
Okay,
Mm.
thanks, Lloyd. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who have just joined us, or if you are listening to a recording of this, this is my very good friend, Lloyd. We both come from Penang, and I've known him for many, many years, And if you look at me
25
and you
years.
think I'm looking good, and I'm not humble, if I'm looking good, it's all because of my natural looks, of course. And Lloyd is the one that, make my hair looks perfect. Okay, right.
Mm.
So so what Lloyd has shared, is quite a few things, and most of my listeners are people in business. So what are the key things that you learn? Okay, first thing is that you dare to take challenges. You can really expand your business. How Lloyd, from the age of 21, started his own business, and then he expanded to 7 outlets in five-star, six-star hotels. Okay, right. And then the other thing is that the vision. Okay, he saw the signs coming, and sometimes in business we think everything is good, and we get blindsided when something happens, and we suddenly as they say, we get caught with our pants down. Okay, so Lloyd was smart enough to see the signs coming and knew that he had to go and do something different, and his motivation being his children. Okay, so these are some of the things that as business owners, when we listen in, we learn from other people's experience. So Lloyd, when you come to Perth, obviously you're a much, you're a celebrity hairstylist. People come looking for you. Why did you not go and build a similar empire of having multiple outlets in Perth, Australia? And why did you decide to run your operations from your home? Share with us your thoughts. Yeah.
Thank you, YP. Well, when we first arrived in Perth from the aeroplane, we stepped down. I told my two daughters and my wife, God has given us another opportunity, a blank piece of paper. Now you can draw whatever you want, write whatever you want in a blank piece of paper. And that
Mm,
is very important that we are able to move forward. For me, I felt that whatever success that I've done in Malaysia, um, and I realized that I want to rest. There's no point for me to climb Mount Everest every day. So I've climbed it, I enjoy it, and now it's time for me to scale down and
Mhm.
enjoy my technical work. When I was in Malaysia, even though I was a very successful hairdresser, but as I kept on opening up new salons, I was very much into managing the salons, managing the
Great.
staff, managing the marketing,
Mm.
a lot of things that is not doing my skill as a hairdresser. So when I came to Australia, I wanted to really sharpen my scissors. I wanted to really reinvent myself, knowing that I can do so much more with my skill. Australia is a country that is labor is very, very costly, and there
Mm.
are so many rules, law, and regulations. And working alone with my wife gave me a sense of peace. And I realized that I can do much more work, much more creative work. And when you go to a hairdresser, you don't
Mm.
go to just a salon, anyone can cut your hair. You go to a specific person in that salon, and you want that person to always be there. But if a hairdresser intends to resign, they are not supposed to whisper into your ears to let you
Mm.
know that they are resigning. Whereas when
Mm.
you come to me, you only get me, no one else.
Okay.
And YP, I'm very lucky. I'm committed to the next 18 and a half more years to work as a
Wow.
hairdresser.
Mm. As they
I
say,
want to complete my six
if
decades. Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I want to complete
right,
my
as
six
they say,
decades
if you enjoy
hairdressing.
doing what you're doing, it's not a job. It's not. You don't feel bored. It doesn't drain you. As they say, you're working on your flame and not your wax. Okay, so
Yes.
evidently, being a hairstylist, making people look good,
Yes.
it's within your heart. It's in your DNA, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Can you one obviously you because I know I've got to make bookings with you, and you've got bookings all until May 2023. Those of you business owners, who are listening in, can you imagine having your order books filled until May next year? Okay, right, and not in a very niche industry, in an industry where there are many players out there. So what's your secret, Lloyd? What makes people want to come back to you and book all the way until May? May is what, 5 plus 3, that's about 8 months ahead. Okay, what's your secret? Okay, share with us.
Mm. Yeah. YP, it's very interesting that you asked that question. Next year, I will be 60 years old. Next
Okay.
year, I'm I'm doing a fairly large.
Give me a chance. I'm going to interrupt you again. Okay. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
because both of us are the
Okay.
same age, right? So next year, you're not going to be 60 years old. You're going to be 60 years young. Is that
Okay.
okay?
60 years young. Okay.
Okay. So sorry to
Next year,
interrupt you. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm challenging myself that I will be doing a second time around
Okay.
marathon.
Oh,
I'll be
wow.
cutting hair non-stop for 24 hours.
Okay.
I did that once in Malaysia 24 years ago, way back in 1998. We
Oh,
collected
young
a
with
lot
me
of
then.
money for National Kidney Foundation of Malaysia. So after so many years, the desire of actually going through that 24-hour non-stop haircutting is still
Mm-hmm.
burning in my heart. And I
Okay.
realized that I'm still capable, even though age is catching up. I
Mm-hmm.
realized that I want to give it back to society. I want to make money and give it to charity. So when
Okay.
that actually happens, my schedules will have to be together with my clients going through different hurdles. We have
Mm,
Christmas coming up, we have my hackathon coming up, and then you have your Easter coming up. So I explain to
okay.
my clients that unless if they follow me, that we go through the hurdles together, if
Mm-hmm.
not, they will not be, I will not be able to touch their hair. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
lucky.
Okay. So okay. I'm gonna just come back to the marathon a bit longer, okay? Because I know
Mm,
that when you set appointments for your clients, it's not like the way you approach your hairstyling, okay? It is not like a what they call it, assembly line in a factory, chop, 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 chop. You try to maximize having a
mm.
lot of people in the shop, giving them short attention, what do you call it, span of attention, okay? So you actually take your time to work with your clients, okay? Can you share a bit more about this concept, okay? About what you do and how you make your clients, feel settled and feel that they are being, that attention is being paid to them. Share with us this skill, okay?
I'm very lucky again all this time. For about 8 years now, I've been doing weekly articles on my Facebook page under Lloyd's Hairdressing. And
Okay,
every week, I will use one of my clients as a model, and I will talk about the way how I actually cut the hair.
okay.
Usually, the hairstyles are quite dramatic. It can be
Mm-hmm.
quite long, which is way below your bra line, and yet it can be cut as short as your hair or my hair.
Oh,
And to
wow.
that, it's a very big change. And you need to have that type of positivity when you look at a person, the face structure, you look at the
Okay.
eyes, you look at the nose, the ears, the hairline, the natural movement of how the hair is moving, and the skull, whether it's flat at the back portion of our head here, very flat, or is it very bulky? And we have to also see whether there's any like flakiness on the hair. And I explain all of these in my Facebook page before I start cutting. And one by one, a lot of the readers who has been looking and following me on my Facebook, they realize that Lloyd, you wait for me. One day when I lose my hairdresser, you're next. I'm coming to you.
Okay.
And
So
one
let me
by
just,
one,
yeah.
slowly,
Mm-hmm.
tell me. Yeah.
No, 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 no. So I'm
You
just
think?
gonna sum up what you said so far. Okay. So basically,
Yeah.
Lloyd, you're saying that you understand facial structures, you understand the
Yes.
flow of the hair, you
Mm,
understand that, and you talk to your clients, okay, a bit more about what they want, I guess,
mm.
and then you're in a position to actually explain things to them before you start cutting it, right? So this is what you're saying, right?
That's right.
Okay. And why do you
Yeah.
do that?
Mm, You have to make the difference. If you are a hairdresser and if you are just a hairdresser making money, then you
Mm-hmm.
just want to get it as fast as you can. And then next one will be sitting on the chair and you continue. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I wake up in the morning, it is a playtime. I literally feel
Okay.
that I'm actually going back to kindergarten. And every morning when I wake up, I feel good that I'm waking up and I want to play. And hair is actually my playground. From the
Okay.
right ear to the left ear, from the nose to the back, I look at the hair, I play with the hair, and at the same time, I have fun with the clients. And I think that actually uh, allow a lot of clients to feel comfortable that I can do a special job for them and yet putting them at ease. Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, I like the way you're putting them at ease because I think you've got a reputation of being the hairstylist that can actually help people who have basically given up. They've tried so many other hairstylists or hairdressers, and they never could get their hair right, and they come to you and you fix it for them. Okay, right.
Mm.
So the biggest fear, I guess, for most people will be, can Lloyd make a difference? How would I look? Am I gonna look terrible after Lloyd does it for me? Okay. So what's the number one thing that you do? Okay, apart from all that you just explained, to give them the assurance that what, after that hour or hour and a half, 2 hours that you
Yes.
work with them,
Yeah.
they're gonna come out looking awesome. Okay, what's your process?
YP, I give you an example. Yesterday, I had a client. She came in
Mm-hmm.
from Denmark down south.
Wow.
Not
That's
Denmark
about
in
what, two
Europe,
hours, right? 2, 3 hours. No, that's
4 hours
more than
drive from
4 hours,
Perth.
right?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. She came to me yesterday for the first time. Her daughter and her son has been to me before. So
Oh,
she
okay.
finally made the trip up to visit me. And she was very, very conservative, very fearful. So she
Mm,
had hair that's quite long, but the hair is doesn't suit her face. And
okay.
she asked me questions. I answered her. And I said, for me, I'll actually cut to until where the collarbone is. And she
Okay.
was like, no, 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 that is too short. And I said, you have to trust me. I have 41 years experience doing hair. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing hair today after 41 years because I can see what the hairstyle will look like on your face. And she
Mm,
said, no, no. So in the end, I did two haircuts for her. One is a haircut that she wanted. Then I said, this is what you wanted. Can I proceed to show you what I can do? I got her confidence and she said,
okay.
go for it. So,
Yeah. So it means
so it's
actually, if
very
you go and do
interesting.
it twice, it means it's twice the amount of work for you, but you're willing to
That's
do
right.
that to make her, to gain
Yeah,
her trust, I guess, and make her
yeah,
feel comfortable,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mm, okay.
In my type of skill, if you're able to do something that people can see that you're putting in effort, it's very
Mm,
important effort.
mm,
And they can
okay.
see that you are a specialist in your own trade, that
Mm,
you take the extra trouble to look for an angle that could be a problem when they comb their hair or when they blow their hair. And yet, whenever they go out to anywhere, a lot of their strangers and their friends will ask, who cuts your hair? And that make them smile. And the
okay.
smile is so important that when my clients leave the salon, they are feeling happy and they spread the good words. So I got lots of
Okay.
angels that's all over Perth helping me.
Doing word of mouth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I've got Lloyd's, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just coming in, right now you can see on your screen, I've got Lloyd's Facebook page. Just go and visit and see all the happy clients that have been featured there. So, one of the things that I've now learned from Lloyd in his sharing is that, all of us as business owners, we want to do amazing work, right? We want to have satisfied customer, and it's important to be able to capture those moments of satisfied customers, their testimonials and so on, and have a place. Okay, so I'm definitely one of Lloyd's fan. Okay, one of his client and his fan. Okay, and his good friend. And of course I've gone into his Facebook page a lot. And one of the biggest mistake, okay, many people do is they try to sell through their Facebook page. When you do a lot of selling, people get turned off. So what Lloyd is strategically has done, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lloyd, you have basically just go
mhm,
there and share your passion, your love, and your
that's right.
work, and it shows, and it shows in your Facebook page, and people just get captured by what you share, and they want to come and see you to have their own hair done. Okay, so
That's
they
right.
capture what you're
Yeah.
saying, and your intention correctly.
I sorry, got to repeat that question again.
Did I capture, your Facebook page? Did I capture your intention correctly? That you're there to share
That's
your
correct.
passion about hairdressing, what you can do for people,
That's
and it was
correct.
not about trying
Yeah,
to sell people anything. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. I usually, when I write something about my work, I will talk about the background of the hair. Then I'll
Mm-hmm.
talk about what I can do. And obviously, a picture sells better than 1,000 words.
Right.
So the before and after is very important that you're able to
Mm,
see the difference. And
mm,
especially if you have colors on the hair, from a plain color to a dramatic color, or from a normal darker hair, and now they decide to go into natural color. So how to transition? A lot of people, as they get older, now that I'm older, I get more senior clients. And
mm,
senior clients sometimes they are fed up of always need to do a touch up on their hair color. and I
Mm-hmm.
help them to move forward from chemical treated hair to a natural organic hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Mm.
Good, good. Now, let me come back to the hackathon, okay? So,
Sure.
which seems like a big project for next year, right? So the hackathon, you said that, when you first did it in Malaysia, and how young were you when you did it in Malaysia?
1998. I was 35.
35 years old, and now
Yeah.
25 years later, okay, and yeah, going to be next year, you're going to be 60 years young, okay, so you're going to do it at the age of
Yeah.
60, right? So this is going to be an amazing test on your physique, okay, on your stamina, on your ability,
Mm.
and everything,
Yes.
because the 60 versus 35, there is definitely
That's right.
the
I think I'll be qualifying. Sorry, I'll be qualifying to be the oldest marathon hair cutter in the world.
Oh wow. And by the way, you've actually run a marathon before, isn't it?
Yes, I did. Yeah. It, it
So
was
not are
it
you?
was full of fun.
Yeah.
Until you know that you hit the wall at about 34 km, then you
Mm,
realize that you can start walking and not running.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So marathon and marathon running, same principle.
Okay.
I will break it down into parts. Like when I was
Mhm.
running the marathon, every 5 km, I do a tick in my mind. I've done 5 km. I've done 10
Okay.
km. So the marathon will be the same. We will start actually at 6 p.m. in the evening on the eve of my 60th birthday.
Okay.
And when it reaches midnight, what I'm thinking of doing is everyone that comes in after that will have to be in pajamas. So pajamas until 7 a.m. in the morning. Then we go back into a normal wear again. So it'd be
Okay.
quite fun to actually see the change of the time. And
Ah,
when everybody is half asleep, I'll be still cutting hair. But
mm,
some of my clients, they are so willing to come, even at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They say, anytime, like I will do anything for you. In fact, yesterday we had our very first person who signed up in my Heraton project. She
mm,
lives all the way 2 hours away from Perth in Brookton. Brookton is
okay.
on the way to Wave Rock, and she
Okay.
owns a farm there. And another, uh, about 3 days ago, a client of mine donated $500 cash into the Heraton project. And we have yet to actually open an account for Heraton, and they can't
Mm,
wait to actually participate and actually donate
okay.
money. I'm very blessed. Of
So
course,
so
I'm
Lloyd,
very
yeah.
blessed also to have my wife. I'm very blessed also to have my wife able to help me all this while. That without her, I think I'm only half done.
You're not done at all without her. Okay. So like yeah, so this fund that these donations that's coming in, I suppose our listeners are asking, where would the money go to? Okay, can you share with us what's the intention of the funds when people donate it to the Herathon 2023?
Yes. Um, when we were scouting, you see, I've very lucky that I formed a group of committee that
Mm-hmm.
helps me with the Heraton project. And
Mm-hmm.
all of them, they are professionals in their own trades. And we are now brainstorming to come up with the best results. During our brainstorming, originally, we're thinking of there are so many charity organizations. Which one shall we help? And I
Mm-hmm.
came across a new hair product company. It has been
Okay.
around for 100 years from Holland,
Wow.
and the name is called Kione. But
Q&A.
in the international arena, it's called Kuna. In Australia,
Okay.
it's called Kione. And
Okay.
they actually have a charity foundation, and it
Okay.
is towards children who is below 18 years old who has been diagnosed with terminal illnesses.
Wow.
And the family will go through some challenges,
Definitely.
financially, hardship, and to look after the children. Maybe one of the parents might have to stop work. So CUNY
Mhm.
Foundation actually allows this family able to apply for a grant to be able to help the family. So
Mhm.
far, since 2005, $1.83 million has been raised through this foundation, and it's benefited more than 1,000 recipients. And to me, I think as a hairdresser, and since a company in hairdressing has a foundation like that, it's natural that I want to help. And I'm very honored to be a part of it. Yes.
Okay, so we are coming towards the 30-minute mark. This is supposed to be a 30+ minute show. So Lloyd, can you share with us that what sort of tips will you give to the business owners there? What is one tip that you give to them that to you is most important when you're a business owner?
As a business owner, you might think that you're doing the right thing all the time, but you're always in office and you're always looking at the accounts. You're talking to people and the bankers to solicit for more money to grow your business bigger. It's very important that as we grow, you have to actually go back to the roots. The roots is
Mm,
when everyone is working. You got to actually see how they work and how you can actually improve by listening to your staff and to your customers. If you do
okay.
not understand any of that and you keep on growing, one day you'll be building a castle in the sky.
Okay, right. Thanks. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening in. These are really words of wisdom. When you're the owner of the company, you always have got to listen up for feedback. You got to always like Lloyd has, seen signs of things and how things are happening. Okay, right, great. So with this, okay, let's wish everybody good evening. Okay, and Lloyd, can you help me together to wave everybody? Okay, yeah, thank you so much for being here with us. And as a gift, okay, as a gift for you listening to us, we've provided a book for you. Okay, so I've actually, I've got actually 3 books on Amazon, and they are Amazon bestsellers. And I'm going to give you one of them. It's called 10 Proven Strategies to Work Less and More, because my name is YP and I help people to work less and more. Right. So I'm not asking you to go to Amazon to buy the book. You see the link here, and I put it into the comments. This is the link for you to get a free copy of this book. And with this, I wish you, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and have an awesome day. Okay, all the best in your journey. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
YP, and thank you, everyone. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.